is we do need commitment, involvement, and passion from others in order for them to believe and go in a new direction with you and to step up and lead, right? So how do we get commitment and passion from others? 70% of engagement is attributed to the leader, according to Gallup. So you all as leaders have a big influence on whether people's heads and hearts are engaged. And that's the deal. It's got to make sense to people's heads, and it's got to tap into their heart, their emotions, right? So on the head side, the big idea and the strategies associated with that big idea, they need to make sense in people's heads. You want a clear and compelling message, for sure. And most leaders with some work can get there, right? Share your messaging with folks, get feedback about how clear is it, how compelling is it, right? Often the trickier part is getting people's hearts engaged, right? To feel emotion, to have passion for what you're up to. Most critical to generating true engagement is showing vulnerability. So as you know, I've been interviewing amazing leaders, CEOs, executive directors, others in senior positions for the Courage of a Leader book. I ask a couple of questions in each of those interviews about what's important in their leadership journey and what advice would they give to emerging leaders. And while responding to those couple of questions, 100% of the leaders I've interviewed mentioned an aspect of vulnerability as critical to success, right? Vulnerability is a big term, right? It means putting yourself, your reputation, your ideas, the results your group produces at risk, right? It's taking a chance, it's betting on the people, betting on yourself and betting on the people around you. So here specifically is a list of vulnerability behaviors. It's not necessarily all inclusive. There might be others that you would add to this. Vulnerability involves saying what you don't know, asking for help, being transparent, right? What do we have figured out? What do we not yet have figured out? Asking and allowing others to contribute and change your mind. Sharing about yourself, your personal story, what's important to you, what makes you tick. Admitting when we make mistakes, trusting others, not only with key deliverables, but to lead, right? Stand up and lead. Here's an example of a leader I've witnessed showing vulnerability. I got to know Maria several years ago when she began to host week-long immersion experiences for a new leader program. And when participants in that program have an immersion experience in Maria's group, Maria invites those new leaders to project plan and do work with the seasoned professionals in her group. She encourages ideas from up and coming leaders from all different areas of the organization. And she and that group are now known for that, right? Program participants know that if they're going to choose an immersion experience in that area, they're going to be asked for their ideas, right? Their ideas will be considered, possibly implemented, right? And they'll get to do real work. And often there's a few examples of the relationship not ending there, right? You continue to tap into these leaders across the organization. Maria, here's where the vulnerability comes in. Maria readily admits the limits to her work experience. She grew up her career in that one functional area and knows that this can limit her view, right? And so I got to see her practice of being inclusive of diverse perspectives through this program. There's lots of other ways that she does that, right? So she intentionally invites perspectives from elsewhere, knowing that there are limits to hers, right? She's vulnerable and powerful. And leaders from all over that company, they pay attention to what emerges from that group because they know it's been well vetted.